It is the end of Tuesday, at least the working part of it. It's been a long day. We got up here a little early, maybe 10, 11. Usually I come up at 1, work from home in the mornings. Today on the E39, we got the transmission off, took the drive shaft out, flywheel off, replaced the rear main seal, installed a new flywheel, new clutch, pressure plate, hardware, cleaned the drive shaft, took it apart at the U-joint, put a new center support bearing on, took off the old CV joint. Tomorrow we'll get some good grease to put in the new CV joint and then install that. Then the transmission needs a good cleaning. We're going to replace the selector rod shaft seal, rebuild all the bushings and shifter carrier bushings, transmission bushings, mounts, all that stuff. And then hoping to get the tranny back in the car at the end of tomorrow. So that's what's happening there. Yeah, I'm taking the 911 home today. The owner is going to run it over to the shop that did the IMS bearing. They didn't keep the invoice for that, and the IMS intermediate shaft bearing in this 996 car is a big thing that you want to have done and you want to see the paperwork for. So we've called the shop and talked to them a couple times, and they won't provide it. They say it's too hard to find, so the owner of the car is going to take it over tomorrow, show up in the car, and demand that they locate that record. I'm actually driving it with the top up. Normally, it's fun to drive this car with the top down, but it's just too hot, and I've been out in the shop all day. It's not air conditioned. It's, in fact, brutally hot, so I keep looking for a clutch. My left foot's very disappointed, and so are any enthusiasts looking to buy this car. In other news, today is Tuesday, August 18th, 2020. Nerd alert, we've got a E39. It looks a little tired. It's from Pennsylvania, 525. And black, that's a weird color for that. Anyways, today, the Los Angeles Lakers are playing their first playoff game in 7 years. If they win it or not is anybody's guess, but 7 years since they made it to the playoffs, and they didn't win that year. They were swept by San Antonio. Kobe Bryant had torn his Achilles at the end of the regular season. So this year, we've got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and 11 other guys taking the Lakers in as a 1 seed in Orlando. They're going to be playing the Portland Trail Blazers tonight. A good, respectable, healthy, strong team led by Damian Lillard. So we'll see what happens. I'm very excited for that. We're going to get some gas in this 911 and then drop it off across the street. We both need showers desperately. Then in and out, and the Lakers tonight. Here's a weird thing. So, forever Porsche's had these weird speedometer increments of 25 miles an hour. And there's ticks in between there. And I guess each one of those are 5. Right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, but why? Like, I find it really hard to find. If you want to go 60 miles an hour, I guess it's the second tick past 50, but why? That's weird. I think it takes more time to figure out how fast you're going. Hey, on the Canon tonight, let's film a quick outro. So, the number 8 seed upset the number 1 seed in both the Eastern and the Western conferences. Now the Bucks lost to the Magic, and now the Lakers have fallen to the Trailblazers. And honestly, the Trailblazers look like the better team. They actually can hit shots. Lakers have really struggled in the Orlando bubble. I'm not going to go too far into it. It's why there's 7 games in this series. They have time to figure things out. So see what happens on Thursday. Otherwise, today was a shop day, through and throughout. And then we did in and out for dinner, watched the game, and then I went up and played some GTA. It's been a little while. So tomorrow, the goal with the M5, and I'll film more tomorrow, will be to rebuild the shifter carrier and all those bushings. I already talked about it in the car, but kind of that sort of stuff, which is a lot easier than today. We're just going to clean up the transmission, with the goal at the end of the day being to reassemble that, get the transmission installed, bolted, torqued to spec. I have to order a couple bolts, so we will not be able to put all of them in. But we'll be able to get it put back on the engine. It's a lot easier to put it on than it is to take it off too. So that's good news. We did, of course, have to pick up a transmission jack today. Nice hydraulic one from Napa. I will show you tomorrow. And with that, we'll talk Wednesday. Good night.